Alright, so we've got our harmonic balancer off now. We've got our timing cover bolts out. We're going to take the timing cover off. It's put on by either RTV or gasket. In this case, it has RTV on it. We're just going to use a screwdriver and kind of pry at a couple points here, and it should just pop right off there. So that's off. Now exposes our timing chain and our timing belt. We're looking to see if our timing marks line up. So we've got one timing mark on the crank here. It's a small little dot. And there's one way up here. These two timing marks, this mark up here on the cam gear, should really be down here. They need to be pointing toward each other. So right now, the cam is not correct, and it's not actually firing. We're not on the top dead center of cylinder number 1. We're actually 180 degrees off. So going back together, we would have to fix that. So we're going to pull off the cam here. Pretty easy. You're just going to take a ratchet, kind of loosen these bolts up. They're going to come out relatively easy. It's got 3 bolts in it. And when I take this out, this gear is just basically going to kind of fall off of here, or want to. It does have one locating pin as well that kind of holds it in place there. Sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. It just has a little locating pin there. And so this just kind of pops off here and just comes off like that. Then we can set that aside. And then next we're going to take our camshaft out. You're going to get 2 4-inch bolts. They're the correct diameter and thread pitch for the same bolts that we just took out of our cam. You're going to thread 2 of them in there. And the whole purpose for this is just kind of to give us some extra leverage. Right now we have no way of getting that cam out. I mean, it's pretty hard otherwise putting a bolt in there to get some grip and leverage. So we're going to thread these in there just a little bit. Kind of give us some leverage. So now we've got something to grab onto. We can rotate this if we want, and then we can pull outward. When taking out your cam, be very careful. The more clunks that happen, the worse it is for the cam and the cam bearings. If you're going to reuse this cam, you need to make sure not to clunk it and damage it. What actually happens is you'll damage the journals, not only on the bearings, but also parts of the block going through. So you want to kind of get a grip on it and keep a level balance up and down and side to side as it comes out. And go nice and slowly. Don't just pull it out. Don't get too aggressive with it. It doesn't take much. It slides out pretty easy. Take a little bit here. So you just want to kind of go nice and easy. Pull it out a little bit at a time. So I've got about 4 or 5 inches out at the moment. And once you get it out, then you can actually grab onto the actual camshaft. You just use these bolts to get a little bit of the camshaft to come out first, so we can get a handle on it. Now you will clunk the camshaft just a little bit. It will make some noise. You're just looking to do as least as possible. It's not always easy coming out because sometimes it has to find the grooves. And there it is. Camshaft out. You're going to strap these up to the shelves standing up. You do not want to lay them flat on something. If you do, this center line of this camshaft can warp. Okay? The bottom can fall if you support it by the outsides. The bottom will actually start to droop, and then this camshaft will not go back in that hole and it will not spin properly. You'll have to buy a new camshaft. So we want to store these up, just a couple zip ties hanging around the top, setting on something, and then also straight up against something. That way it's got a level surface to be supported by.